Hey, welcome to the channel.
It seems that we have.
That's where we've been. That's where we are.
A really vital moment. We're hearing from.
Right.
I don't know how long you've been
Gonna have to
listening.
get going now. I think we might stop for a coffee somewhere. Cappuccino. The coffee that I got at
they were saying Al Jazeera.
hey, welcome to the channel. The coffee that I got at
least a temporary peace deal. Frank Gardner, they're telling us that it's the source is one slightly.
Let's go and see if we can see that fucking road.
What are you thinking about that?
Be round this way.
I would say be very cautious about
there's a car.
If it is indeed true.
It says private road, but
it would be incredibly welcome, not least for millions of Gazans. But I would be cautious about it because it would seem like a bit of a pivotal turn.
You'd never get fucking away from here.
And you know that whole 40-day kind of package of ceasefire that Frank was talking about a moment ago includes the return of Gazans to the north, and frankly, the situation on the ground at the moment from a military perspective, an Israeli military perspective, would suggest that that's not going to be entertained. So it does seem a bit strange.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
So that's,
just perhaps, we're making
that's
some
all fenced
progress
off.
here, and it would be good news for
Oh
Gaza.
look, they've got trucks in there.
In the conflict, in any case, aren't we? Whether there's a ceasefire or whether the story is actually this hasn't happened, and we're on the brink of another mass migration crisis.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really interesting that Benjamin Netanyahu just only a few days ago, speaking to supporters and lobbyists in the United States,
what company that is.
used the expression "the road to victory runs through Rafah." I'd be very surprised if Netanyahu has changed his position in that respect, whatever Hamas may or may not have agreed to, simply because of the internal pressure that he has from ultra-nationalists and people within his coalition government. If he pivots on that particular position, he would be in deep political trouble. You know, and I think in many
Keep
ways,
out private. There's that bridge there. I don't actually believe that's private, but we'll come back and we'll drive doing it sometime.
And that includes the geopolitical, the military problems or whatever. There are no easy options here.
Yeah, so
easy options for Hamas either. And it remains to be seen.
we'll walk down it.
I'd be very, very
this is the old road.
This news emerging.
This is what this is.
Yeah, indeed. Well, let's operate then on the basis that it isn't happening and that Israel is going to go in and pursue its operation in Rafah and clear it out. It is saying
the next time we're down, it's the end of the month, we'll walk. What we'll do is we'll park across there, and we'll
it would be messy.
we'll go around the other side and go under the bridge and walk right under that bridge and then climb up on top of it and then walk back there.
Obviously, fighting in that kind of urban environment is incredibly difficult for them, as they found out. It's also actually would put tremendous strain on relations, the geopolitical wider relations within the region as well, because let's remember that part of eastern Rafah that they are talking about targeting runs along what's known as the Philadelphia.
Going over the motorway.
Right on the border with Egypt. And I think it's significant that over the last days, weeks, the Egyptians themselves were very, very nervous about this. There was a report emerged just over the last few days of Egyptian military intelligence actually negotiating with some of the tribes on the Egyptian side of the border, Bedouin tribes there, to create a force to kind of guard against any massive influx of Gazans should they come over the border and result of an attack on Rafah. So this is a high-stakes kind of situation for both sides.
It is fast-moving as well, Dave. Let me just interrupt you there very quickly. I'm looking at the BBC website. In the last few seconds, this is flash.
Right.
Hamas has accepted the terms of a ceasefire.
Carlisle's that away. So we'll have to turn.
Accepted the terms of a ceasefire deal in Gaza. In a statement, the group says it's informed
We'll have to turn right.
mediators of its decision.
I did think about it there.
Including how long it'll last and what this means for hostages being held in Gaza.
No, I wouldn't have been clever. It would have been in a bit of an accident.
It's very significant, and obviously.
So where are we going? We're going to Glasgow. We're going to Stirling. So we're going to. So we need to go this way.
I mean, Netanyahu clearly, and the Israelis clearly have been, using the threat of an attack on Rafah as that kind of leverage.
I've got to go through Lockerbie now to get. I think it looks like that, doesn't it? Aye. So we're going this little. There's a C3. Dalton. we have to go. We don't go through Lockerbie. This road goes along the side of the motorway.
It is being, we think, confirmed, but lots more detail to come. The devil will be in that.
Now, this is Sherwood Crescent. Is where this pedestrian flyover thing is. Down about. No, there it is on the left. There's it there. So Sherwood Crescent's on the right in there. There. That's where the house got flattened by the airplane. So that I've still. What I haven't done is been to Memorial. I've been to that gardens, but I haven't been to the actual graveyard. Right, we'll leave that now. It's 30 minutes past 5. Bear in mind, I've been on the road since 3 o'clock this morning. I don't know how I do it. I suppose I just do it, really. I don't know. I'm capable of doing it. I'm actually getting a bit pissed off with his car. Well, there's always a car, but the mechanic fucking fixed it. He's been at it for quite a long time, and there seems to be a reluctance to buy new hubs, which is what I thought, because he's one of these dominant characters that, you know, he's got to be. Like, if he was an airline pilot, and you said, excuse me, I think you've done that wrong and we're all going to die. You know, you're Korean. There's a Korean. He's not Korean, he's Scottish, but you know, there's a hierarchical structure of dominance where it is uncool to tell somebody they're wrong. So that's how they proved that's how some plane crashes happened, right? And he's like that. Whereas he's the type that he's got to be in control and the boss. So anyway, what it is he's cleaned up the hubs, the front hubs for the ABS sensors, and I actually thought, why don't you just fucking buy new ones? Because at the end of the day, I don't mind paying for it. It's not a problem paying for it. I can afford it. I want it done right. I mean, I don't want to buy a new car, you know, so I'm quite happy to pay for it. I know that obviously the hubs, you know, I think that's, unless it's the wiring that's the problem. He seems to sort of, if I say things, he kind of goes, oh, you know, and he is clever as anything, but sometimes it's like, just fucking fix it, you know. It's like, and it's me that I've got to put up with it all the time, coming way down here, and the faults come up, you know, and then you can't use the hill assist, you can't use the cruise control, and it gets through the MOTs because they just turn the light off. Like, it doesn't really go on until you're doing like 50 or 60 mile an hour. So getting the MOT is easy. It's just a bit of it's spoiling the enjoyment of the car. You know, and it's like, how difficult can this be? You know, so to me, I think you need probably new hubs, probably new sensors. Just fucking do it, and then if eventually at some point I've got to, you know, give up on it. You know, and say, right, I'm fucking enough. You know, that's what you do with cars. But the way things have gone now, you can't do that because they've went and destroyed the motor industry. So you can't just go and pick up another car that easily. You know, that's Johnson Bridge there. That big chimney thing. I'm not really feeling the urge to drive really fast. I think it's just that I've gotten a bit older. I'm doing 67. I don't really want to go like a maniac all the way home. I think I'll probably stop somewhere, I'm not sure where. I think I'll try and stop somewhere but I've not stopped before, or at least I don't remember ever doing it. I must say I do feel really rough, you know, like worn out, dirty, and I had a shower this morning at 2:30 in the morning. I feel like rough, you know, really like you know, my hair, my hat, my clothes, my feet. because my feet are soaking wet because I've been down jumping about in that under that bridge. I'm not hungry. I mean, even though that Asda was pretty grim, it was you know, it kind of filled the hole, so to speak. You know, I don't feel at all hungry. We're in the old phone, which means it'll be jiggling quite a bit. The other one is loading videos, and I can't really do. It tends to heat up and then it freezes. It stops filming. So the other one is a little better in the dark. That's the main thing about it. Whereas this one that we're on is not that brilliant in the dark. So it's not dark. So it's 20 to 6.
Emergency shelter. It's for survival when things go bad.
You know, I really like this car, apart from that fault. And I suppose it's just a case of persevering. I'm going to have to go and see him. Try and see him tomorrow.
Because it does get really dangerous on there. You literally get about 2 places on site. Driving us down, which is great.
Do you think, I mean, is it being used by people as a kind of party hub, or just are people just not taking their stuff away?
Great question. I think, to be honest, I think the majority of it is people just going up there and kind of using it as a party hub. There have been some stories that come out from our shelter.
Hey, babe.
People are throwing out abuse and all that. The thing is, you can't look a shelter like that because it's gonna defeat the whole purpose of it. There's a mountain just opposite for Nancy. We did have the shelter taken away. We'd hate to have that actually. People just don't respect us.
I don't know which one this is. What is this, Johnston Bridge? Services, I think it might be, aye.
Look, 2 big stories today.
I'll stop there before I probably won't bother doing that again.
Celebrations on the streets of Rafa. Been watching pictures just coming in on the news channels just now, the televisions in the studio, crowds gathering to celebrate. The very early news, without much detail, that it looks like there's a ceasefire in Gaza this evening. And domestically, of course, the SNP has a new leader. Once process is taken care of, tomorrow Scotland will have a new First Minister in the shape of John Swinney. We've been hearing from him this afternoon. Let's just close the programme with the thoughts and reflections of David Henderson, who's been following this. You were there when John Swinney was speaking this afternoon. What do you make of what he had to say?
Well, there was a lot of passion there, wasn't there? There was a lot of energy, just what his party's been looking for after taking a real battering over recent weeks. And
Until water, Until water.
With the activists and...
I've stopped at Abington before, yeah. Well, I did this morning, but I didn't go in. Johnston Bridge. Oh, aye, that's Annandale Water is Johnston Bridge, yeah.
Which the SNP feels quite strong about, talking about public services, talking about improving the economy. There was little emphasis on net zero. There was no mention of the phrase net zero. We were talking of gender, fraught issue for the SNP in recent weeks. Instead, he said there, that my focus is, if elected First Minister, economy, jobs, cost of living, NHS, schools, public services, all this sort of stuff, which I think many in his grassroots will be saying that's what we need to focus on to make inroads.
And he doesn't just need his grassroots, though, does he? He needs other parties in Parliament. And I had Patrick Harvey in the studio just before we
I've been under this bridge looking up,
he makes what John Swinney had to say.
feeling the weight of the trucks going past.
Like a hawk, and if we see him conceding,
There's Malcolm Logistics in front of us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think
he's coming out. Come on out, Malcolm. We've got a car overtaking us, so we'll just slow down a bit.
We will support him to get these policies through, but if he waters it down or tax to the right, if we listen perhaps, I didn't say too much to Kate Forbes, who's coming back into government.
We'll just go for it.
Quite obviously, John Swinney there wants to present himself as the unifier. Ultimately, he's walking a high wire act, isn't he? He's trying to strike a really tough
I don't know what he's overtaking, actually.
those in his party who want to reset.
It's a
the Greens
motorhome.
still have those crucial votes.
Yeah. It's difficult for the truckers, isn't it? These motorhomes, I suppose that if I was driving a motorhome like that, I'd just be doing about 50. They get fucking blown about with the wind and everything. You don't really want to be going too fast in anything.
Busy day as ever. I'm going to hand you over now at 6 o'clock to Brian.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Monday night on BBC Radio Scotland. I'm Brian Burnett. This is Get Up on Big Galloway at
Now we've got a classic example of a middle lane hogger up here. We've got a motorhome here, and there's no reason for it to be in the middle lane. They've overtook something a long time ago, and you know that they're doing. Well, we're doing 71. Oh, they're coming over now. It's because the BMW came up behind them.
In Egypt, that it's approved a possible ceasefire deal for Gaza. The source didn't provide any further details.
You know, I just kind of think everything's bullshit now. The war in the Ukraine, Israel war, Israel, Palestine. Although I've been trying to stay out of that because the knowledge that I've got of it is that there's atrocities being committed on both sides, and I don't really want to take some binary view on it like what happens. Most people do that. You know, so you pick a side type thing. I don't really want to do that. So I'm actually trying to, I don't want to go too fast, right? So I was going to overtake this. That's how you sort of incrementally land up driving too fast. You know, like land up doing 90 or something. I'm really trying to, because the cruise control's not working, because it's stupid fucking ABS fault.
And I'm really glad that the judge did that. That really meant the world to me, even more so than the sentencing, because I feel like Mikey had been all over the press. You know, my whole world has been put everywhere. But actually, now to have their names put out there, that meant a lot.
Tens of thousands of fans have lined the streets to celebrate Ipswich Town's.
Yeah, we're going over, right? Indicating we're in the middle lane.
These fans are still pinching themselves.
And transits want to come over. The motorhome's going right at the outside lane. Wow. Wasn't expecting that.
And a referee will blur a video camera for the first time.
Don't know what the transit's up to. I think we'll just pass it. It looks a bit iffy.
Filmed on a head-mounted device will be used in a one-off program, providing an insight into a
It looks like one of these sort of like motorhome type transits.
To date, it's now 3 minutes past 6.
Well, what you can hear now are perhaps some of the more familiar sounds of Cumbria. Sounds from the fell side of Sanddale. And you know, there's something else about Sanddale, because it's one of the sites of one of 3 radio transmitters in North Cumbria, which are now broadcasting programs from a new local radio station. And that station is BBC Radio Cairn.
Oh, there's another bridge we could go look at. Oh, it's a railway bridge. Yeah.
Police have today been carefully checking the royal car, which was attacked last night as it was taking Princess Anne and Mike Phillips back to Buckingham Palace. The princess and her husband escaped unhurt.
Well, if you would have been with Carlisle United got him in the first division, let me tell you this morning, it was no problem. Really did happen.
The legendary Liverpool manager Bill Shankly called it the greatest feat in the history of the game. The outsiders from rural northern England, unfashionable, unfancied. This is the story of Carlisle United's season in the sun.
Giant once in my life, when I first came in was born. The tears were summoned almighty. The money gloomed and flavoured me. The same playing tears was summoned almighty. I couldn't believe it. Me and lost the missing.
Oh, another old bridge there. Quite an interesting looking old road.
In the
play a crucial part in this particular story.
Coppers. That looks like a stupid car they've got. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a Peugeot. It might have been an electric car.
The top half of the second tier of English football, having recovered from a slow start to their campaign. A key player in their side was midfielder Les O'Neill.
Sort of frustrated with how we played, and we felt that we don't have the results that we deserved. At the same time, we didn't play well enough to get them. There was something didn't click, and I think it was the November big form. That was the first that we started to feel that not about promotion, that we're getting better.
Ross Brewster was a journalist who covered Carlisle for the local paper, the News and Star.
United at that time had a fantastic reputation as a sort of friendly family club, and I think this reflected right through from the top to the bottom. I always remember the coach saying to me once, you know, we've got it right here, right from the chairman at the top to the kid who makes the team. The whole club just seemed to be pulling in the right direction. It wasn't full of what I suppose we call big stars, but there was a tremendous sort of spirit within.
On Wednesday, we featured a special soccer programme for the replay of the cup tie at Lockerbie, Sunderland. Carlisle won 1-0, and after the game, Carlisle manager had this to say.
It was a very hard game, real battle out there.
Oh, yes.
Both teams can take credit. It was a difficult cup tie. There wasn't much in it. We pinched them in the second half, but this is a battle. It was a really tough game for good point. How did you actually see the goal? I thought it was an absolute beauty. Yeah, it was a good goal. It was played a break. We were playing back from our half time. Two players involved before Dennis was scored, and he hesitated. He did this weekend.
Dennis Moore, he had pace, he had two good feet, he was in the air, he was very quick, take people on, score goals. The only thing I got to say about Dennis, I don't like saying it, but I'm being honest, he wasn't the bravest. And I could tell you within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, well, not Dennis Moore was going to play today, I'll be blessing you. If Dennis did something good in the first 5 or 10 minutes, look out. But if someone kicked in the first 5 or 10 minutes, then he was going to have a very, very quiet game.
We've got to get our feet on the ground again now, very quickly. We need to get points here because our league position is good. We want to improve it, but of course it is nice to be looking forward to Liverpool because this is one of the great matches, I think, of the next round. And being a cup tie as well, it's going to be a fantastic game.
He was very clever, Alan. He had in his number 2 Dick Young.
I think we're about to run out of the 3-lane road.
Some knowledge, very good trainer. He could pick up weaknesses in you, and not only that, improve them. And without a shadow of a doubt, the fella that made me the player I was Dick Young. Talking to us, showing us, giving us working at times when I needed one, which was great. And also, what did I do? So I'm not really credit on the playing side.
yes. You pull over. Pull over, yes. I was coming down here this morning, the other side, about here somewhere, and over to like 2 trucks, articulated trucks, and I was doing about 83 or something when I went past them, and I kind of slowed down. It was about, it must have been about here on the other side of the road, or up a bit, and it was like, I looked in the mirror, the truck was right up my arse. I don't know what the hell. I was doing like 72 or 73. I was like, was under the assumption that they did 50. But obviously, because he was going downhill, he was giving it Yahoo down there with that a bit now. It was quite amazing. And I shit myself, well, I put the foot down, got away from him. Because I didn't really fancy getting pushed off the road by a truck. And it was being a bit of a nuisance for the guy, really. Oh, here we go, I'm going too fast. This is 76. Yeah, we'll pass this pickup. We'll slow down a bit in the hill. I wasn't one to end up being in the 100 mile an hour club. Oh, this motor's well capable of sitting at 100 miles per hour quite happily. With it being 150 horsepower, 2 litre HDI rather than 16, which is a much more reliable engine. So thinking about stopping for a cappuccino. A frappuccino. Oh, the other option would be, a miserable option would be to stop and get the stove out. yeah, that might be better. Just go sit in their fucking place. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I think I'll stop and make a coffee. Fuck it. Save myself £4.70. That's a plan. That's a good plan. Well, there's that. See, now I'm doing 77. There's the pickup truck. And it was doing 71. I don't believe it's that underpowered. He's probably on the phone or something.
BBC Radio 4. The main news so far. An official Hamas source has told the BBC that the group has accepted a ceasefire proposal in its war with Israel in Gaza. There are no immediate details about what the deal involves, but Hamas officials said the ball was now in Israel's court. The SNP's new leader, John Swinney, has said he is deeply honoured to be appointed to the role.
What an idiot.
Still to come.
Scary, to be honest. I mean, if the shop were to close down, it would, be a huge dent for people here just for getting their essentials.
The Islanders, whose only store has escaped closure after it fell victim to an online scam. The judge at Donald Trump's hush money trial has threatened the former president with prison if he continues to breach a gag order that prevents him from speaking about witnesses. Mr. Trump has now been held in contempt for 10 separate violations of the order, paying $1,000 for each breach.
I was talking rubbish, of course, earlier when I said we're about to run out of 3-lane motorway. It's quite a bit further up the road. This is Crawford off here.
Staring
Crawford,
straight ahead, wearing his trademark dark suit and red tie, Donald Trump remained impassive as Judge Mershon issued his strongest warning to the former president. He said what he called Mr. Trump's continued willful violations of the gag order amounted to a direct.
We should go and have a look at Drumlanrig Castle sometime.
The judge professed himself reluctant to impose jail time, but said he would do so if necessary. It sounded very much like a final warning. New York law allows up to 30 days in prison for violating such gag orders.
There's a truck with boom on the side there.
An extraordinary turn in an already unprecedented chain of events. As for the case itself, prosecutors are now getting into the nitty-gritty of the payments to Mr. Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, who says he was reimbursed for a hush money payment to a porn star shortly before the 2016 election. Prosecutors say the reimbursements were illegally recorded as legal fees, and the original payment was made.
We should maybe pull into Crawford sometime. Have a look at some of these structures, bridges and so on.
Argentina has denied that ordinary people are paying the price for his radical austerity measures. During his election campaign, Javier Milei brandished a chainsaw to symbolize his desire to slash public spending. In a BBC interview, he also said he accepted that the Falkland Islands were currently controlled by the UK.
Budging up there.
We're speaking to our South America correspondent, Irony Wells.
Argentina has been riddled with high inflation and high debt after years of high public spending. The right-wing libertarian Javier Milei was elected on a promise to change that. He campaigned
we've been doing that, haven't we?
to symbolise how he would introduce sweeping
Except they're not spending it in the public.
He sees as
spend it in their green shit.
To people's economic woes. He has slashed the value of the currency, cut energy and transport subsidies, and reduced government spending on things like pensions. When I put to him that some ordinary Argentines told me it was them paying the price, he denied it.
Eso es falso. Well, actually, that is false. The largest adjustment is being paid by the political corporation. The mass media will deliberately lie, and people will believe those lies they get through the media. You can't make a macroeconomic evaluation based on the situation of an individual.
Despite doubling down on his radical economic policies, his rhetoric was softer on other areas. Javier Milei vowed to make the Falkland Islands Argentine, but conceded there was no instant solution and that they were currently in the hands of the
Service
UK.
is 3 miles. Which one is it?
His past criticism of China, one of Argentina's biggest trading partners, a nation which he labelled an assassin during his presidential campaign.
So I'm going to pull in. I'm going to have a coffee.
All of the new
Why not?
restaurants, shopping centres and offices in England will be required to have separate male and female toilets and applying changes to law. Ministers say the
male and female toilets
about gender-neutral facilities. Here's our political correspondent, Harry Farley.
This long-promised legislation is part of a series of government announcements.
So they're actually going backwards in terms of. It's a weird thing, but it's like. So women or feminists want a piece of the action of the man world, right? But they also they want to keep the separate side of things.
That means new restaurants, shopping centres and offices will have to have single-sex toilets or private rooms for individual use. The government says most of the responses to an official consultation supported the intention for separate male and female toilets, and the change would ease safety concerns as well as reducing longer waiting times in shared
safety
queues.
concerns.
Ms. Badenoch says the change will mean women's biological health and sanitary needs are met. But transgender groups say gender-neutral toilets can reassure non-binary people who fear discrimination in single-sex toilets. The charity Mermaids said for some, gender-neutral toilets provided freedom and autonomy.
The brewing giant Heineken has announced its reopening
So the problem is that men have capitulated to these radical feminists. That's what that shit's about. But at the end of the day, you know, try not to worry about it. You know,
our business correspondent Varshala Sripadma has more.
it's not going to affect me. I go to the toilet, just keep, I don't speak to anyone, just go and do a pee, wash my hands and get back out again, that's it. That's about the size of it for me. Abington Services.
Increasing the kitchen space in pubs and improving their gardens.
No, I've stopped at Abington before. So what's the next one up? I really wanted to try a different one.
Less money in pubs, bars and restaurants.
In Abington.
However, with inflation falling and real wages growing, the British Beer and Pub Association says that investors are confident about the broader industry, provided it adapts to changing habits. Mick Howard is the operating director of Star Pubs, one of the chains owned by Heineken.
Well-invested pubs at the heart of their local communities thrive. It's very important to create.
Yeah, so the toilet thing, the safety thing and everything, it's like, well, they're talking about, what are they talking about, rapists or something? Or, you know, I mean, the chances of like a man wearing a dress, you know, it's like, and trying to rape some women, it's a pervert, you know, it's like, can't they just phone the police or something? How often does this happen, you know? I can't see it happening very often. They've lost their minds with that thing. It was, and I think these trans groups went too far with their shit. It'd have been better if they just fucking shut up. So the campaign, it's the same as the cycling thing. It's the same as the cycling thing. They just go, they went, I want the same thing happened to cycling nutters. I want them to get pushed back. I think we'll pass this Volkswagen. So, you know, it's like the kind of the dichotomy with it is the radical the women, females, biological females are encroaching on men's spaces, but now they're saying, wait a minute, so men started, like, let's just say that transgender women are men, let's just say that they're men, because that's what the feminists think they are. So then they've stopped them, or they're trying to stop them from encroaching on their space, but they're happy to encroach on the men's spaces. And pubs for one, you know, I mean, a pub was a man's space. Most of them are shut. They're all shut down, destroyed, knocked down. Very few of them are still back. Eddie Steinbart! Oh yeah, Eddie Steinbart! Well, yeah. Delivering sustainable distribution. Yay! So it's like one of these binary sort of arguments. What is it? It's you're fighting for your group. In that case, it's a female. In my sort of personal experience, I don't really see. Honestly, I don't know about anybody else that's listening to this. Do you ever feel that there's any problem with toilets? Or if they're talking about safe spaces, is that what they mean? Toilets? Or where else are we talking about? You know, because it seems to be a huge battle using that as a battleground when in actual fact there's nothing really happens there. And the statistics for men in dresses raping women in toilets, it's got to be extremely low, you know. extremely low percentage. So it's really it's a kind of like I think it's what they call a straw man. You build this straw man. Ironically, it's a straw man, yeah. So at Cairn Lodge services in 2 miles. We'll stop there and I'll make myself coffee. We're running out of motorway. There's a cool wall over there. Look, you can see a wall. It's like a big round wall, like stone. I'm not really very keen on Radio 1. That's Heart FM. Classic.
From the new album Four Hands by Alexandra Terra, performing a duet there from the Music's Brilliant Suite with Frederick Vestklitter. Romance on the way here on Classic FM after the sound of Star-Crossed Love from Prokofiev.
Oh yes, that's proper music. Cairn Lodge services, here we come. I don't know if I've ever stopped at this one. I must have done it one time. Probably, but I can't remember. Maybe not, maybe it's is it this one? Oh. Yeah. Services. That's how to come off at services. Nearly crashing the barrier. Yes. Slightly incompetent. I think I could have done with a bit extra signage there, eh? Probably. Oh, look at that roundabout. I want to go in there. Oh, that's quite cool. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I quite like that one. Yes. Services 1 mile. Oh, I can see another video coming on here. Yeah. A Rover 75. Fucking hell, where's the services? Huh? Where? It's fucking miles away. Here we are. Here's the services. Here we are at Cairn Lodge services. I don't think I've been here before. Because I lived in the borders, so I really wasn't going up the west very often. Ooh. Charging on the left. Cars. Car parking. Seems busy enough, isn't it? Guy in the motorhome, what's he up to? I usually park quite far away from them, you know, when I over there beside where the sun is. Yeah. Let's back in there. This is like, the choice is killing me. The choice is killing me. The fault is permanently on. Right, so thanks for watching. And there's the RAC. Sorry, the AA. That's the AA. Oh dear. Oh, there's a bit of wood for fire. Look at that. See that, eh? Oh, brilliant. Cairn Lodge Services. Oh! Oh! Where's the motorway gone? Right, so thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and look at that. Mitsubishi or something? Oh, they went past the turn. No, they're parked. Right, thanks for watching. Bye!